I think it's Wednesday today, and we're going to Cosenza. But while we're waiting for the train, let's just talk about the Normans. We've seen the Norman cathedral at Tropea, and we're hoping to see one or two Norman castles and cathedrals elsewhere. When we were in Malta, we found out that the Normans had conquered Malta from Sicily. When we were in Sicily, we found out that they'd conquered Sicily from Calabria. Now, the Normans in the 11th century, the same bunch of adventurers who conquered England, had gone out to southern Italy as mercenaries. Then they decided they could run the show better themselves, so gradually they took over Puglia and Basilicata and down to Calabria and the Naples area, then went over to Sicily. They have a very civilised smoking ban in Italian railway stations. You can't smoke on the station except in the smoking areas, which seem to me to extend the length of the platforms, but anyway. So eventually the Normans ruled the whole of southern Italy and Sicily, and it was run as a separate country, the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies, right until Italian reunification in the 19th century. Because of inheritance problems, the line of the actual Normans died out, and the kingdom passed to the Holy Roman Emperor, and then to the French and the Spanish and various others. Trains pass through here southwards to the bottom of Italy, Reggio di Calabria, and then even go across the ferry to Sicily. From the north they come down from Milan, Rome, Venice and other places. This is a sleeper, a Treninoto I think they call it, and you can even bring your car with you, and you just put it on the trailer at the back of the train. I don't think there are many people travelling today, and therefore there won't be many cars. There we are. I think there are just 2 or 3 on today. As I said, today we're going to Cosenza, and that involves going up the east coast northwards and then branching off inland to Cosenza. That's the place where they sold the city station and the 5 miles of track to developers, and you have to get off outside of town and go on a boring city bus through the industrial areas and various other places to the city centre. Now, this is not a Eurostar or a TGV, I think, just one of those nice little local trains like they have in France. One of the main set of immigrants in this part of the world were the Greeks. This was BC, and all this area was known as Magna Graeca, and cities were set up by separate cities from Greece, and they seemed to spend most of the time fighting each other. Then the Romans took over, and after the fall of Rome, this part of the world, up to Puglia and up further up the east coast, resided in the Byzantine Empire, eastern Rome. We saw the Byzantine influence at Ravenna, and we hope to see later some Greek ruins from BC. Right, I think this should be our train that's coming in now. It's probably going up to Naples, and we'll travel on it up the East Coast main line as far as Paola, where we will branch off towards Cosenza. As you can see, we've got that mountain range which runs down Calabria on our right. Now that could be snow there, I'm not sure, could be clouds. On our left we've got the seaside, the west coast. At any time around Calabria, especially obviously on the high mountains, you can come across remains of castles dating back at least to the Normans and through the Germans, French and Spanish. Main purpose seemed to be not defence against Turks and Saracens, but to keep the local populace in order. Along the length of this coast there are a series of habitations, and perhaps a penny should be beginning to drop by now. Generally, the original centres of these habitations are situated somewhere inland on higher ground, away from the shore and whatever unwanted visitors may appear from over the seas. There's another castle. The older centres are now complemented by more recently built seaside sections. As we began to realise, the train usually seems to deposit you halfway between the two and another castle. We've started to divert now up the branch line to Cosenza, and we may see more of Paola later. Cosenza is completely surrounded by mountains. Here is the junction of two rivers. Somewhere underneath one of these, the Busento, lies buried Alaric the Goth. He is not a character from Monty Python, but is the barbarian who prized open the gates of Rome in 410 AD. For this sin, he was struck down on his way south by malaria, and was buried with his booty, we are told, under the river. So now Cosenza.